Hey everybody, non-TCG here. And one of the big questions that we're getting in Discord now, and our Discord's blown up quite a bit, is what is the price expectation of 151 packs now that we have all the booster bundles hitting for the holiday? We have Blooming Waters coming out through distribution. We also have Blooming Waters coming out through Costco, which we confirmed in the video yesterday. So I want to touch on this a little bit, and I think the best way to look at this is let's look at Crown Zenith. So Crown Zenith, when the Sea and Sky collection came out, it was a massive amount of product. And I know there was a bundle at Costco. There was a Crown Zenith, and there was 151 that had an ETB and then 2 tins. But let's look at this price. So let's go to 1 year. Let's go to 1 year here. Just actually, we can do 6 months. It doesn't matter. So the tins effectively, the Sea and Sky effectively came out in July. So, there's kind of announced around here, came down, and then this is when the tins really started hitting the market. And then here you had dump here. We effectively had Sam's Club start to limit the number of boxes that you could buy. And then, it's kind of in purgatory here. And again, this is a loose packs. And as I mentioned before, this is kind of the raw gold. There's no additional collector value. There's no anything. This is just the commodity of the set. So again, you take this and you're somewhere around $6, $5.50, $6. And, somewhere around here, just peg this to call it $4 for a low. So somewhere between call it 20 and 30%. Decline from the highs. And again, it declined pretty quickly, but I think, nobody else would disagree with the fact that, Crown Zenith from a demand perspective is pretty substantially less than 151. And there was a ton of product coming out or that came out through Sam's. And I mean, quite honestly, the Sea and Sky collections, even though I think they're $40 at Sam's, are still selling for 65-ish. Plus tax on TCG Player. So there's a little bit of a premium there. But when I think about 151, I'm going to walk everybody through what I think the graph's going to do and what the price is going to do. And if you look at this, you saw the product come out and the price dumped again, 20, 30%. But then say you have the low on September 3rd and you have 2 months from September up to 3 months to December, where you're still not back to the high. And even though like the ETBs and things like that are at the high, the raw packs aren't because there's just so many out there. So when we think about 151, you're going to have the ETBs, the PC ETBs, the ultra premium collections, probably not the booster bundles because quite honestly, they tend to lag a little bit from a collectability perspective. They trade closer to what 6 times the raw booster packs trade for obvious reasons. But those are going to continue to move in the same direction, in my opinion. I doubt they're going to take much, if any, of a hit. They may stagnate for a little bit, but nobody's buying those today to rip them in rip packs because there are a ton of packs coming to market. So we are effectively right here. So we are on July 9th in the graph for Crown Zenith based on where we are today for 151. So let me bring up 151 packs. And let's walk through the graph. And this is predicting the future, if you will. But we can predict the future by understanding the past and what happened with Crown Zenith. Because I think I mentioned yesterday with the Blooming Waters collection for Costco, what my belief is that the Sea and Sky collection at Sam's was kind of a trial process for this. And the thing was such a ridiculous smash hit. They're like, you know what? Let's do it to 151. It has enough reach. They don't want to go out through distribution with these products, so they're going to do it this way. So again, this is the middle of July in the Crown Zenith graph, right before the product came out. So on the 6-month chart, effectively, we can go to 1 year. This thing has just been going up and up and up. Here we had a little bit of a dip. I believe this is when the Some of the smaller Costco drops came. I know the tins weren't until October, somewhere in here. But this, I believe, was the ETBs and the 210 combo that was, I think it was like $69.99. I think it was $5 or $10 cheaper in store than it was online. But when we get to this point, and again, the packs right now are $9.50, right? 108 packs, $9.20, $9.25. So let's just say $9, just for simplicity's sake. So we can expect a similar reduction in price. Now, if we're looking at the graph, $5, $6, people are going to jump on it. They're going to buy it hand over fist. You get up here to $7, you have a little bit of a basing period here, as they talk in the stock market, where it's not necessarily the cost basis of people that drives the demand, or the psychology of saying, hey, you know what, that's cheap, I'm going to buy it. It's really the price memory. And you look at the price today, that's at $9. If somebody can buy it for $7, they're thinking, well, I can flip it for $2 a pack. That's a great deal, right? So I think effectively, and I'm going to prove this through the math real quick, but let's say that the packs are at $9. They trade down, over a month period, month and a half, whatever. They trade down to $7, right? So from the 27th to the 18th, it's about a 3-month period here. So we just look at the graph here. So, you're 20 right here, you are $7 up to $9. So, 2 nights is 22% decline. So that's right in between the 20 and the 30% reduction for Crown Zenith. Now, I would anticipate it's probably a little bit on the lighter side, just because there's so much demand for this product. And look, Crown Zenith is a great set, but it's not 151. So this is a nice way of saying that in the Crown Zenith world, the price was suppressed for a 2 to 3 month period. So as the product starts to hit the market, there's no need to panic. Now, time is of the essence, but as the booster bundles hit, and we haven't started to see the price dip yet. I know some booster bundles have come to market, but this number was 2,600 the other day. Now it's 2,800. So it's not like all of a sudden this is 7,000 packs. I would imagine we probably have a month or so until we start to see a little bit of downward pressure. And then Blooming Waters is going to hit in February. And then the packs are really going to start dumping. So quite honestly, we probably have until end of February, middle of March, till we kind of hit a little bit of a bottom here. And again, it may not dip the full 30%, but it's going to dip to some extent. Because you have the value buyers who are like, well, I can now buy this at $7. I'm going to buy it $7.77. In my mind, I think it's worth $9. And then those folks are going to run out of money. And then you're going to have some other folks that are like, well, maybe I'll buy it at $6.50, or maybe that's a bad example. Maybe the value buyers are at $7.75, and then the other buyers come in at $7.25. And then you're going to have a basing period where everybody who looks at 151 is saying, well, it's $7. I'm just going to buy it. I'm going to give up any other opportunity. Screw Surging Sparks, screw Journey Together, screw Prismatic Evolutions. I'm just going to buy a 151, because if I buy a 151 at $7, there is a much more likely chance than not in a year it's going to be above $7 per pack. So I'm just going to buy it, or I'm just going to buy it and I'm going to rip it, because the price is never going to be less. So, when I talk about being patient, from my perspective, if I can buy anything at MSRP, I'm going to buy it, because it's going to be, $5 a pack, if not a little bit less. $3.75 at the $44.99 price on Costco for the Blooming Waters bundle. But we have time. It's going to take time to, saturate the buyers at $8.50, $8, $7.75, $7.50. And that's going to take weeks, if not months of time, until we get to a point where there's so many packs on the market. The buying starts to slow down. People start ripping packs, and, we kind of reach a little bit of a basing period. And then over time, the product's going to go back up. In my video yesterday, I mentioned that after Blooming Waters comes out, we're going to have an unknown amount of product going to Costco. But other than that, I don't think distribution is going to get much, if any. And at that point, there's probably no reprint on the product coming until fall, and that'll be the last hurrah. Kind of going into the holidays, because effectively, I think March or April of 2026, this is kind of out of print. And, this is such a massive reprint. I'm guessing that, we're probably good until August, September, once we get through Blooming Waters. So anyway, if you want to pick this up and you can't get it for MSRP in the secondary market, I would probably target end of February, early March to try to complete your position. And then just be opportunistic. If you see something cheap, buy it. If you don't see something cheap, there's nothing wrong with being patient, because there's going to be so much product in the market. And again, this is the raw pack portion. I mean, the PC ETBs aren't coming down. So, this is unrelated to that. There's going to be so much product in the market that it's going to be virtually impossible for the price of this to increase until rippers and collectors and investors just churn through that volume. So anyway, guys, join the Discord. We have another sale coming up. This time it is going to be Pokemon. Not sure if we want to do it going into Christmas or if we want to do it after Christmas, but join the Discord. We'll put a notification. Subscribe to the channel. We'll have a notification there as well. And have a great day.